What if I told you that a career Democrat intelligence officer just handed the FBI documented proof that Adam Schiff personally orchestrated the greatest abuse of classified information in American political history? What if this wasn't speculation, conspiracy, or partisan attacks, but sworn testimony from Schiff's own staff, declassified by FBI Director Kash Patel himself? Ladies and gentlemen, butter the popcorn, because we're not just witnessing another political scandal. We're watching nothing less than the complete unraveling of the Democrat hoax machine, and ironically, it's all coming from inside their own dysfunctional house. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you make sense of all the madness as the far left desperately tries to stop the unstoppable rise of a new conservative age all over the world that you're making happen. So if you want a front row seat on how you are changing the world in ways you never even imagined, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. The Schiff has hit the fan. As many of you know, the ultra-repulsive California Democrat Adam Schiff has just been rocked with bombshell allegations that he intentionally leaked classified information, which is a felony, in order to hurt President Trump during his first term. Now, ironically, not only did that classified information turn out to be completely bogus, it was all fabricated nonsense as part of the Russian collusion hoax that Schiff was very much a part of. But as it turns out, what makes this story absolutely explosive is that this accusation isn't coming from Republicans. It isn't coming from conservative media. It isn't coming from Trump supporters. This accusation is coming from a career Democratic intelligence officer who worked for Democrats on the House Intelligence Committee for over a decade. Apparently someone who even considered Adam Schiff a personal friend, someone who watched the Russia hoax unfold from the inside, and someone who finally could not stay silent anymore. In 2017, this whistleblower claims to have sat in an all-staff meeting where Schiff made a declaration, a public declaration, an unabashedly public declaration that should send chills down every American spine. According to the declassified FBI report, Schiff told his staff that he was going to intentionally and deliberately leak classified information which was derogatory to then President Donald Trump, his first term, and that this information would indeed be used to indict President Trump. Now, of course, what was so stunning here was how blatant Schiff apparently was. Schiff wasn't hiding what he was doing. This wasn't in the shadows. He was blatantly showing off. He was assuring his staff that Trump's days were numbered, that he was going to go the way of Richard Nixon, and that it was Adam Schiff that was going to bring him down. When the whistleblower objected, calling the plan blatantly illegal and a felony, he was apparently assured by unnamed staff members that, don't worry, we're never going to get caught leaking classified information since, after all, we're the ones who control the system. Now, what's so key to get here, my namesake Jonathan Turley, law professor at George Washington University, is pointing out, what's so key is we know someone is engaging in criminal behavior in all of this. We know that. Either it's Adam Schiff or it's the whistleblower making the accusation precisely because it's a crime to lie to federal investigators. And that fact alone, the fact that we know somebody is criminal here, that adds a lot of credibility to these accusations, especially given the fact that they're coming from a fellow Democrat. The fact that this whistleblower would face criminal liability for providing false information to the FBI suggests that he or she is telling the truth, which then means, by definition, that Schiff committed a felony. The unauthorized disclosure of classified information violates multiple federal statutes, resulting in years of prison upon conviction. And then you add to that Schiff's pattern of behavior where he repeatedly made false claims about possessing secret evidence of Russian collusion that was never produced because it never existed. It certainly suggests that this whistleblower's accusations are in line with Schiff's public lying about Trump, which, of course, he was censured for by his fellow congressmen in the House. Here's just a slight sample of the out-and-out fraudulent lies that this freak repeatedly and publicly spewed.
In which the Russians offered help, which we know they did. The campaign accepted help, which we know they did. The Russians then delivered help, which we know they did.
There is circumstantial evidence of collusion.
The case is more than that, and I can't go into the particulars, but there is more than circumstantial evidence now. So,
you've said on more than one occasion that you've seen ample evidence of the Trump campaign's Russia collusion. Last March, you said you had more than circumstantial evidence of treasonous collusion with Russia.
I've certainly said that there's ample evidence of collusion.
Can you agree that there has been no evidence of collusion, coordination, or conspiracy that has been presented thus far between the Trump campaign and Russia?
No, I don't agree with that at all. I think there's plenty of evidence of collusion or conspiracy.
but we do know this. The Russians offered help. The campaign accepted help. The Russians gave help, and the president made full use of that help. And that is pretty damning. Reviewing the evidence that I have.
Everything. I mean, literally everything you just heard there was a lie. Everything was a lie. Now, you take that pattern of lying behavior and you overlap it with these accusations that would be criminal for the accuser if the accuser were lying, and you have a very damning case against Adam Schiff. But, if you can believe it, things get even worse. It ain't just Schiff. Wait until you see who else is facing the same charges of deliberately leaking classified information. This is going to blow you away. Hey gang, you ever feel like your mind is racing or your mood dipping or stress is stealing your clarity? Well, you know you're not alone, and your only options are not prescriptions with side effects. Introducing MindLift from the Wellness Company, a doctor-formulated nutraceutical designed to restore calm, clarity, and emotional balance. This unique blend features low-dose lithium orotate to gently uplift your mood and support healthy cognition. Powerful adaptogens like ashwagandha help your body manage stress by supporting adrenal function and regulating cortisol levels. It also includes calming GABA and key amino acids to ease anxious feelings and support neurotransmitter production. DHA from algae rounds out the formula, protecting brain cells and promoting smooth communication between neurons. Maybe it's time to reset your mind, but naturally. Head on over to twc.health/Turley. Use code Turley to get 15% off plus free shipping. Again, that's twc.health/Turley. Use code Turley to get 15% off. Take control of your mental wellness with MindLift today. The whistleblower did not stop with Schiff. He also fingered the California Representative Eric Swalwell as another leaker. Yes, the same Eric Swalwell, who had to explain his relationship with the Chinese spy Fang Fang. It's just still stunning to me that he's even allowed to hold on to his seat after all that. It's almost poetic. The congressman who was compromised by Chinese intelligence was simultaneously leaking American intelligence to damage his own president. Now, according to the New York Post, the whistleblower recounted how a particularly sensitive document was seen by a small group of lawmakers and staff, including Schiff and Swalwell, but leaked out almost verbatim within a day. The whistleblower allegedly claimed to have been warned to be careful because Swalwell had a reputation for leaking classified information. Now, perhaps the most infuriating part of this entire scandal is that the FBI knew about this for years and apparently did nothing. So this whole situation raises important questions about the FBI's handling of the original whistleblower complaint. Did the FBI fully investigate these allegations, again, made back in 2017, or did they cover it up? The whistleblower gave 4 separate interviews to the bureaus starting in 2017, provided very specific information about Schiff's illegal activities. What was the response? It appears to have been radio silence. Moreover, what did other staffers who were present at that meeting where Schiff reportedly admitted to leaking classified information, what did they tell investigators? Were they even asked? You see, that obviously would either corroborate or it could refute the whistleblower's account. If everyone's saying the same thing under penalty of perjury, then again, a case against Schiff becomes very, very strong. Is that why it was covered up? Finally, what makes this revelation so perfectly fitting is how it exposes the Democrats' favorite tactic, and that, of course, is projection. The Democrats have become masters of accusing Republicans of precisely what they themselves are doing. For years, Schiff and his allies screamed about Trump's dangerous handling of classified information. All the while, they were systematically weaponizing classified intelligence for political warfare. The man who spent years lecturing America about threats to democracy was literally conspiring to use America's most sensitive intelligence capabilities, with fraud to boot, to undermine a democratically elected president. FBI Director Kash Patel's decision to declassify these documents represents masterful political strategy. In a single stroke, he both exposed the weaponization of our intelligence agencies against a duly elected president and implicated the congressmen, both the congressmen who were doing it. He's draining the swamp through both revelation and investigation. And as I'm sure you guessed, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This isn't just about Adam Schiff. Kash has made it absolutely clear that this is the first of several major leak investigations, and that other major people were clearly identified by the FBI as having leaked classified secrets, guilty of felonies. So we are watching the systematic exposure of a vast conspiracy that goes far beyond one congressman's personal vendetta against President Trump. That said, Adam Schiff thought he was untouchable. For years, he leaked classified information with impunity, manipulated by media narratives, and weaponized congressional investigations while hiding behind congressional immunity and a friendly Justice Department. And by the way, those pardons, they're only for J6. They ain't for this. Those days are over. With the Trump administration conducting thorough investigations, Kash Patel declassifying evidence, and whistleblowers providing sworn testimony, the reckoning Schiff has avoided for years is finally at hand. The man who spent his career accusing others of treason now faces the very real possibility of being charged with the crimes he projected onto his political enemies. Justice may be slow, but it's finally coming for Adam Schiff. And thanks to his own staff's conscience and courage, the evidence is overwhelming, documented, and it appears undeniable. The Schiff files are just the beginning. As Kash Patel promised, more revelations are indeed coming. The deep state's day of reckoning has finally arrived, and it's going to be everything America has been waiting for. Have you locked in your seat from my America Awakened Masterclass yet? Because seats are filling up fast. This is your shot to grab our Freedom Week discount before the price goes up. This isn't scripted, it isn't safe, and it sure as heck isn't censored. It's real, it's raw, and it's unapologetically patriotic, just like the early days of Turley Talks that helped ignite a movement. But listen, this discount won't last. Click the link, claim your spot, and join the rising tide of Americans reclaiming faith, family, and freedom. Let's light the fire of liberty and awaken America together.